So, next lesson. Xerxes, the famous Persian king we see in the movie 300, and is the main protagonist in the next lot of invasions done by the Persians at the Greeks. So we'll go on about the motivations of this particular Persian king. To understand his possible dilemma. Not quite sure if he thought these things. Herodotus says it is, but as we know, he's not always that reliable. And we can develop some source skills by looking at Herodotus later on. Keywords: succession, vengeance, proof, impress, rebellion, Egypt, expansion, reluctant, persuade, Mardonius. Succession, king dies, whoever takes over them succeeds. You want, really, in a kingdom, you want this succession sorted out in advance. You don't want it to be a big surprise. One king dies, son takes over. Vengeance, revenge, impress, rebellion, Egypt, expansion. If you make something bigger, you expand it. Reluctant, you're not sure you want to do it, you're reluctant. Persuade, and Mardonius, we've heard this guy's name before, he's a courtier, he's a relative of the Persian kings, a general. So, it's 490 BC. The Persians have lost at Marathon. When news reaches Darius, back in Susa or Persepolis or wherever he is, his reaction is one of fury. He demands revenge. He can't have this. He can't have some smelly goat herders, some olive farmers in the middle of nowhere, defeating his great empire. So he needs to head back and destroy them. That's his reaction. He orders a huge army assembled, a huge navy assembled, because this time when he goes back it's for keeps. Yeah, this is going to take several years to get it all together, but certainly that is the reaction of Darius. He's not going to take this line down. But in the meantime, though, several things happen. First off, a couple of years later, we think about 495, 494, something like that. A rebellion breaks out within the Persian Empire in Egypt. Egypt's possibly one of the most important parts of the empire, so it can't be ignored. So they can't immediately attack the Greeks, because first they've got to assemble the army to destroy the rebels in Egypt. On top of that, in about 495, we think, Darius dies and is succeeded by his son Xerxes. So Xerxes is now the king. What does he do? What's his dilemma? Should I attack Greece? Should I retake Egypt? Well, of course he's going to retake Egypt. But do I attack Greece? Do I take the chance? Do I try and, my father's forces have a defeat there? What should I do? Herodotus says, and we'll look at it in the class, that Xerxes is unsure about what he should do next. Traitors and courtiers. Within the Persian court, there's lots of Greek traitors. We've already mentioned them. There's Hippias. Hippias is dead by now, but his family are there trying to persuade Xerxes to conquer Greece. And there's various Greek traitors there. There's one, in fact, Spartan there now, Demaratus, who we'll look at in a minute. There's other members of his family, like Mardonius, who we'll see in Herodotus, is very keen, very, very keen, according to Herodotus, on the Persians attacking the Greeks and conquering Greece. We'll look at his reasons in more detail in class. 4b, let's have a quick talk about Demaratus. He is a Greek traitor, a Spartan traitor, an ex-Spartan king. Remember, Sparta has two kings. He had been one of them. He'd been the big rival of King Cleomenes, who was the older brother of Leonidas. He had been forced out of the kingship in disgrace. After that, he had fled from Sparta and ended up in the court of King Darius as one of his advisors. Now, to a Persian, this is quite useful to have some local knowledge. So Demaratus is hanging around the Persian court, and he comes up quite a few times in the next part of the story, where Xerxes asks Demaratus for advice about how to deal with the Spartans. So what does Xerxes decide on him? What is his decision? We're going to invade. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it big time. We're going to assemble a massive army, huge navy, take no chances. We're going to crush Greece. We're not going to sail there this time. We're going to march there. So we take a much larger army. We're going to build a bridge of boats across the Hellespont. We've got that in water to class. We're going to lash together hundreds of ships and build a road over it so we can march our army across. There's some pictures of this in your folder. Another part of the journey. Instead of going around a piece of land, the Gulf of Athos, we're going to dig a canal so we can sail our ships through here. Huge engineering undertaking this. So that is Xerxes' decision. We're going to invade, and we're going to invade big time, taking absolutely no chances.